What's going on, guys? Jake here with Venture Visuals, and today I'm going to be breaking down 5 effects that I see getting used in a lot of NBA Youngboy's music video edits. I do see a lot of the same effects being used, and that's because he's working with primarily one director, one editor, and that person is Louis Nose. Louis Nose has all my respect. I think his effects are really cool, very clean, not over the top, and he has had a big hand to play in NBA Youngboy's success on YouTube. So one of the most used effects I see on NBA Youngboy's videos is these light leaks, these film burns that Louis Nose puts over top of the footage, and they really add a lot of flair to the overall edit. Now you can find film burns and light leaks online, some for free, some are paid. So for example, I do have a pack of light leaks myself that I've created. Now they're just, splashes of light that kind of come across the screen, and you basically can put these right over top of footage. So you'll notice some similarities between my light leaks that I have here in my pack, which you can download on my website, and the light leaks that are being used in NBA Youngboy's videos. I really like some of these blue ones. I really like 16 here. This is one of my favorite ones in the whole pack. So in order to use light leaks, all you gotta do is just click and drag it into your project panel over here or onto your timeline. Most of the time you download light leaks or film burns, they have a black background. All you gotta do to get rid of that black background is change the opacity from normal to screen. Boom, now you have these dope light leaks over top of your footage. Me personally, I like using these light leaks as transitions. Let's see what it looks like as a transition, and drag it right between the two clips like that. So now when we watch it back, you get this nice transition. So the second effect I want to cover that is used a lot in NBA Youngboy's music videos, specifically if you've seen House Arrest Stings, the music video for that, they use a lot of these matte transitions. Let's take a look at what a matte transition looks like. So a matte transition, normally when you download them, it's just going to look like a black and white screen like this, and you're probably thinking like, well, how do I use that as a transition? Because if I put it over top of my footage, it's still just black and white. In order to use it as a transition, as seen in this clip, all you have to do is take two clips that you want to transition from. So this one, I want to transition from this clip, and I want to transition to this clip of him a little bit closer. What I would do is take my first clip, drag in a matte transition. So for example, I have a matte transitions pack on my website. I'm just gonna take one and drag it in. So let's use this crinkle right here. I really like these ones, and I'll drag that matte transition right on top of my footage. So again, we still only have two clips. What I gotta do is take my first clip here and just drag it out the length of this matte transition and make a cut. You like to drag this first part of it back down. Now all you gotta do is add this effect in Adobe Premiere Pro called a track matte key. Throw it on top, change the matte to the video layer the matte transition is on, so video 3, and then we're also just gonna change it from matte alpha to matte luma, and now we get this transition into the next clip. Now you gotta make sure your next clip stays underneath. It's just a really easy way to get like a really clean transition. Another effect that's very common in NBA Youngboy's videos is the glowing text, the glowing titles in the beginning of the edit. Now you do have to have Adobe After Effects to do it the way I'm gonna show you guys, and you should also have a free plugin called Saber. Now the Saber plugin is great for glowing lines, doing all sorts of stuff with glowing shapes. Highly recommend getting it. I'll leave a link for it below. It's totally free, and it's just a plugin that you install into After Effects to get this glowing effect. All I did to get this glow effect was I came into After Effects, opened up a new text layer. We'll just type in glow one more time. Now with this text layer selected right here, I'm gonna go to Layer, Auto Trace, and we're just gonna auto trace that. And now we have an auto trace layer on top of our glow layer. Drag the auto trace layer below, come over here to my effects and presets. I'll type in Saber. Now this is the free plugin that I was just telling you guys about, so I'm just gonna drag that onto my auto trace layer like that. I'm gonna change my preset to something like, we could do like energy is cool, and then we're gonna change our render settings from black to transparent, and we're gonna change our customized core to layer mask, make the glow a little bit less, a little bit easy on the eyes. And boom, I mean, that's basically how it's done. I do see this glowing text effect used in almost every single NBA Youngboy edit, and it's definitely one of those things that just makes their edits that much more unique. So definitely check out the Saber plugin. combine it with some text in After Effects, and just go crazy. The fourth effect I want to cover is just the freeze frame transitions that they use. So let's take a look here in Adobe Premiere Pro. So say you have two clips back to back like this, and you want to transition into this clip, but you want to have him transition in from like the left or the right, or just, you know, do some crazy effect in, but you want him to be cut out from the background basically. So this is what they do in a lot of their edits. They take the very first frame of the second clip that they're transitioning to. So I'll just hit export frame here at the bottom, hit OK, and that'll actually save to your project panel over here in the left, and then you can just drag that picture right into your timeline. So I usually like these effects to last about 6 to 7 frames. So if you just go to the cut where you want the transition to end, you're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames to the left, and then we'll hit cut, and we'll cut the rest of that picture. So when you play it back like this, you know, it doesn't, you know, that's not the effect that we're going for. So from this point, what you got to do is come up here to opacity, just take the pen tool, and I'm just going to do a quick outline around his body. You can spend time doing this, and I do recommend that you spend more time doing it than I am in this tutorial, but just cutting around his body like this, very easy. We're just going to finish it off like this, and now I have a pretty dope shape. So now when we play it back, you know, it's getting there, it's a little cooler. The only thing is I want to add some more flair to it. So you'll see a lot in NBA Youngboy's videos that have the glow behind them, specifically in the Lil Top video by NBA Youngboy. He does this kind of like a squiggly transition in with this effect. So we're gonna go ahead and just copy that transition style and apply it to our clip here in Adobe Premiere Pro. So what you gotta do, we're just gonna highlight the picture, right click on it, and hit replace with After Effects composition. Again, you have to have After Effects to do this effect. And from here, what we're gonna do is just hit layer, and we're gonna auto trace this layer as well. And so what you gotta do is put the auto trace layer below. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the same saber preset that we have from our title and apply it to our auto trace layer here. And as you can see, we get that nice glow outline behind him. I can turn on my transparency grid right here, which is what you want to do. You want to make sure that you see the transparent background here. And I'm just going to hit Command S. That will save it. So when I hop back into Adobe Premiere, we also get that glowing line that appears here in Adobe Premiere. Now let's hop back into After Effects, and I'm just gonna add a few more things to this to make it more like how NBA Youngboy's edits look. I'm gonna go ahead and add a glow. I'm just gonna go ahead and drag this glow onto my actual picture layer right here, and I'm just gonna tweak the glow. You'll see that it just kind of messes with the edges, but I kind of like to have like that little bit of glow coming in on his face right here. So if I turn it off, you can see how much of a difference that makes. I think it makes it look like it's a little bit cooler. The last thing you want to do here is go ahead and take your auto trace layer and your picture layer, and you're going to highlight both of them, right click, and hit pre-compose. So this just combines them into one layer here. Now we can just put one effect on both of those layers at the same time, basically. So what I want to do is type in this effect called turbulent displace. Now this is a very dope effect. A lot of people use this effect in music videos. It's also just very creative. So you can see we get a lot of like just warping. So now all you got to do is just open up this pre-comp, go to your effects, open your turbulent displace, and just make a keyframe towards the end of your timeline when you want it to end, with all of these keyframes right here, because we're going to change a few of them. Now we do want the amount to say 0, so he looks completely normal by the time the transition is over. I just clicked and dragged those keyframes all the way to the end. Now if we go all the way to the beginning, we'll change the turbulent from turbulent, we'll change that to horizontal displacement, and we're just going to take the amount up quite a bit, as well as mess around with the size. And then we're also gonna mess around with the evolution. So I'm just gonna turn the evolution up quite a bit. And then what I'm gonna do is just highlight all the keyframes we made here at the end, right click on them, hit keyframe assistant, and hit easy ease in. You kind of get like this squiggly transition into the frame. Now once you're finished, you're gonna go ahead and hit Command S, and that's just gonna save it back into Premiere Pro. So now when we open it up in Premiere Pro, so very, very dope. Honestly, I'm actually very stoked on this. how it looks, and I think it's a great effect. Now this leads me to my last effect I'm going to cover in this video, and that is the dreamy glow effect that you see in NBA Youngboy's video called Valuable Pain. And it basically gives like this ambient glow background to lights. I've seen it used in other hip hop videos as well, but it just like smooths everything out, makes everything look kind of dreamy, kind of hazy. So let's say I want to use the dreamy effect on this footage right here. All you have to do is copy the footage that you want and put it on top of itself. So I just hit Option on Mac and dragged it right up on top of it. Now what I'm going to do with this top layer is change the opacity from normal to linear dodge, and automatically you can see that it gets very bright. What we want to do now is come to our effects tab and type in Gaussian blur, and we're just going to drag a Gaussian blur onto this top layer as well. Make sure to hit repeat edge pixels and just turn it up. I like about 100. And then what you're gonna do is just make a mask right in the middle, invert that mask so that it's dreamy everywhere else around this circle that we're making. I like to have it pretty close to the center, and I like to turn the mask feather up quite a bit as well. And then from here, what I like to do is just turn this layer down a little bit. You can turn it up and down if you want it to be more glow and dreamy like, or you can turn the opacity down if you want it to be less. I like this. Probably I would put it right around 90. So now when we play it back, you get this like very dreamy glow effect. Shout out to Louis No, shout out to NBA Youngboy. They're making some killer content. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this quick YouTube tutorial. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you got any value from it at all, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in downloading light leaks, matte transitions, or other music video effects, please visit my website, venturevisuals.com. Again, guys, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Until next time, I'm Jake Venner. Peace out.